to you all again, Dick Punchers, Dick Punchettes. We're playing more of this fucking awful Real Ghostbusters arcade game. I'm Judge Drunken, this is Quartermasters, and I'm Judge Drunk.
I am Jason.
Oh, Bob.
He's on 2. Pliskin's on 1.
And my anus is hemorrhaging.
So, on 3.
You've been hearing us talk about Ghostbusters, maybe giving you some right information or wrong information.
Yeah, well, information, right or wrong.
Yeah, if you're dumb enough to listen to us, well, that you have problems.
Hey, we're giving this game some slack, but you realize this game is second in Europe for its year?
Jesus Christ. This arcade game was second highest grossing in Europe for the year it was released.
Yep.
This was what in Europe they were having the most fun with. Well, you know what? It makes sense. After all the bombing, I guess this is what they would have fun with.
Oh, that's terrible.
So, Pliskin, do you have
this game.
Do you have any actual information on this game
this
besides
game
that?
It was made by Data East. It was on the Commodore 64. Actually, here, my phone's in my pocket. Someone else do this.
Just stop playing for a minute. Why not? Just stay there.
What, prevent your fellow
players from moving.
There.
Oh God, I have to read some wikis. Okay, guys, so this is some wikis. The Real Ghostbusters, also named Make You Hunta-G in Japan.
Talk about the Japanese bastardizing American work.
I love that. Make You Hunta-G was an arcade game based on the cartoon series of the same name released by Data East in 1987. The game was later ported to the Amiga, Amstrad CPC, Atari Commodore 64 ZX Spectrum. There are 3 versions: the Real Ghostbusters 2-player, the Real Ghostbusters 3-player, and Make You Hunta-G lacks Real Ghostbusters licensed content. And then there's an ad for Play Ball. It started with hello. How much of this do we need?
That's enough. We can stop.
I'm fine with referring to this game from here on out as Make You Hunta-G.
You know what bothers me about this game? There are 4 Ghostbusters in the animated series.
There's 3. The other one was only 5/8 of a Ghostbuster.
Are you saying the Japanese are racist against black people?
You know what? We can't say that.
The Japanese are racist against black people.
It has been
Lord, we really can't say that.
Yeah,
what?
Bill Murray really wasn't.
Bill Murray did not count as a full Ghostbuster.
Yes. Oh. He was too busy hitting
girls. He was drunk for most of the filming. What are you talking about?
You racist bastard.
Yes,
Jesus.
And yeah.
I'm uncomfortable with this recording now.
Too bad. Deal with it.
I don't know how to turn your fucking iPhone off. There's only one button, it does one thing.
There's two buttons. There's one on the top.
There are no buttons on top?
No,
what are you talking about?
Solve the problem, switch to Android. Oh, we just solved all the world's problems.
So,
the knobs.
Let's talk about how... So, Judge Drunk was informing us of a...
Anal
reboot.
By the way,
hold
on a second. Before you do that, doesn't those things look like KKK hoods?
Yes. So the Japanese are racist against black people.
This is the cast of Birth of a Nation screaming as they realize what has happened to their contribution to cinema history. It's like, no, we were the first genuine cinematic epic, and everyone remembers us as KKK propaganda. God damn it.
Okay,
you might think that's racist, but damn it, that's totally real cinematic history.
Okay, Jason's in on 2.
Oh, damn it. So, Judge Drunk, tell us about this remake where Ghostbusters 1 and 2, the animated series, and the awesome video game that I love never happened.
We're going to make me talk about this after all the things I've said that are horrifyingly offensive just now.
Look, it's not your fault the Japanese don't like black people.
Bill Murray! The Japanese don't like Bill Murray. He's only 5/8 of a person.
Hey, he did that Centauri Time commercial.
No, but relaxing time.
They took out they took out Winston Zedmore.
In any case,
and they have the KKK hoods. The Japanese are racist against black people.
In any case, it has been recently confirmed that the guy who did The Heat and Bridesmaids
In the room.
and I'm sure he was involved somehow.
Yes.
But he has been confirmed as the director for a new Ghostbusters movie, which he's not calling a reboot. But yeah, it's a fucking. He's like, no, we're gonna ignore that the other movies ever existed and start our own thing, but it's not a reboot. And so, no, that's,
wait a minute. No.
You know what the definition of reboot is? Ignore that the other movies ever existed and start over from scratch.
Hey,
It's a fucking
Judge,
reboot.
you need to make a comment quick.
What? Bob has
Seizured out.
Bob has fallen and he can't get up.
And now make a comment on this enemy.
It's swinging a ball.
This particular enemy is made out of veiny sack material.
Okay, I've
And
died
you've
more than enough
exploded.
times.
Jesus, that's you know what that is? That's a hernia.
I'll play. Okay,
You
yeah.
burst the veiny
Bob's
sac.
gonna come in on 2.
No, it was a herpes pustule.
In any case, this guy who's confirmed to be making the it's totally not a reboot, but no, it's a fucking reboot, has stated inarguably, unequivocally,
KKK guys! Ah!
that the new Ghostbusters is going to be an all-female cast. And even feminists are saying, wow, that seems really fucking gimmicky. And they're not wrong.
Because, I mean, I don't mind a female Ghostbuster as long as she's
No.
funny.
What you want to do is say, we're going to just cast the funniest people we know. But the guy who's doing this is known for movies with all-female casts.
And there's nothing wrong with
And
that.
he's like, hey, we're going to... No, there's not... Well...
If you're a whole...
Bridesmaids, there's nothing wrong with that. Because it's about women. The Heat was...
I haven't seen The Heat.
The Heat was apparently a really shitty version of T.J. Hooker where everyone was women.
Shit.
I haven't seen it either, but that's what I've heard. And now he's gonna do a version of Ghostbusters where everyone is women. And even, like, very feminist film critics are saying, wow, we really don't want you to do The Heat again.
Okay, to throw some reference in here. Actually, we're going to throw a whole other series we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comic Book Men. They actually had a stink. In
Wow, this is a serious departure.
Yeah. Comic Book Men had a serious discussion about their first season about adding a female cast member. They brought a female cast member in who was in a wheelchair. She didn't. Okay, hold on. She didn't fit in. She wrote a whole essay about them not accepting her, and the guys in the shop said straight up, we don't have female staff members. We run a comic book shop. We're all men. We have men in the shop. That's why she didn't fit in. They tried to fit her in, and she just didn't respond to them. And then she was on that other show, that History Channel show, that tried to do a Comic Book Men but didn't work. That happened about a year later.
I actually don't know that.
Yeah, it was awful. It was terrible.
Now, Bob and I do what are called comic book runs. We have seen women in comic books.
Oh, yeah.
Comic book stores buying stuff. My girlfriend's a
Four
huge
other
comic
guys,
book
yeah.
collector. She probably has about 500 comics.
I don't think I've ever seen one running one, though.
Yeah,
really
I-
Well, no,
never-
but the idea that, like, no, a girl can't run the comic store because it's a man thing.
No, not
that's
at all,
that's
not at all.
bullshit.
But we've never seen a woman
Yeah.
behind. Now, we've seen other nerd shops with women running it, but just never a comic book shop.
Where I would question the decision to include a girl in a wheelchair in this established show with an established cast is, why are you trying to fill two demographics with one person? This is fucking the Saban Sailor Moon again.
And again, she wrote a whole essay for one of the
lost my
publications about being like
I
she
lost
was
my
all
stream
pissy,
completely.
Yeah,
like
it's because you
really
have to
didn't
put the
fit
coins in to get
in,
the stream.
and,
really?
they were like,
Wait, hold on. Your Ghost Cat stream costs credits?
Yes.
Wow, fuck this game.
Well,
insert
capitalism.
coins.
Capitalism. That's what the
Insert-
game's about.
You get points for the ghosts you capture with your stream. You
That you
have
paid
to
for.
insert coins to use your stream. Therefore, you pay for score.
Yes.
Pay to win. Pay to win. The most hated game model currently.
Are you trying to say
This
that
game is pay to win.
Are you trying to say this game was the first in its kind?
This game is fucking Call of Duty.
Oh.
You know, this is the game that should have been produced by EA.
Actually, no, Atari made the one from the 90s. Not the 90s, 2000s.
But switching back, okay.
But no, going back to this, like, a girl in wheelchair debacle. You as a reality show producer cannot hire someone to help run a store. When your reality show is about the store and how it actually runs, you can't just cast someone.
Yeah.
You have to let the store cast their own employees. You cannot take over the employment process. And also, if you're saying, okay, we need a girl, it's like, well, you don't need. I mean, you could have one. It wouldn't be wrong to have one. It would be sexist to say you need a girl. And B, to say, well, okay, let's get this girl in the wheelchair. That's Saban's Sailor Moon. That's fucking...
Okay, let's get specific.
That's the mid-90s, let's fulfill all of the minority requirements in every character that we possibly fucking can.
Final stage?
Final stage.
But covering...
Oh my god, and it's snow again.
But covering...
I think it's supposed to be rooftops.
It's pretty fucking white.
But here's the thing.
This is white like Amsterdam.
But here's the thing, covering some final topics, you realize Comic Book Men's initial draft was actually not using, like, they were going to cast a show to run in the comic book shop as a test. But
Wait, they weren't going to use the actual employees, the Kevin Smith friends that he was like, hey, these guys are great?
You know what happened? They asked Smith if he had any projects. He said, I got nothing. He took a deep drag of his pot. He's like, I got an idea. And he threw the idea at him. But then, they did the teaser. He took a deep drag on his pot, and he's like, I got an idea.
So, a competition show and a comic
This
book
episode brought to you by natural gas.
Dude.
It gives you some ideas.
4 seasons.
Kudos to anyone who got that reference.
4 seasons of marijuana have produced Comic Book Men, basically. Yeah, I know. Crazy shit.
You know what disappoints me? No one in this playthrough got that reference.
Nope.
Space Ghost, god damn it!
Never. Okay, but staying on topic. Basically, they kind of did, I believe, some teaser trailers, and then he gave the AMC executives a copy of Tell 'em Steve Dave, the podcast. And the AMC executive came back to him and said, "You're an idiot, Kevin Smith. We got the cast right here." Because I believe there was some question about Brian Johnson being, like, kind of in the cast. He's not in the comic book shop. And then they brought this girl in, and it was a complete failure. She did not fit in.
Hey, let's just tell you how you should run your comic book.
But you also have to look at the staff of the shop.
They've known each other for years.
Yeah, Ming Chen has known Smith for 20 years. Mike Zapsek has known Smith for at least 12 years. Brian Johnson was there from the beginning, basically, except for the first movie.
Look, Herpes Pustule Monster again.
For reality TV to work, and this is the giantest of air quotes reality TV, because nothing is truly reality on TV. Your
I like how when we cross the streets, it goes blue.
It does?
Need to know each other.
Like
they
cross
need
the
to know
streets.
each other. They need to have.
I love how it's yellow.
Oh, I love that. But
wow.
no.
Okay, we found something cool in this game that may or may not kill half the players.
But like I said, well, here, do you realize
going to the bunker?
They got so much.
Wait, you saved the city from ectoplasmic destruction. All stage cleared. Who are you gonna call? Who are we gonna call? Who are
your mom?
Harold's Ream.
Game End. That's who we're gonna call.
You know what?
Game End.
Harold Reamed Ass. Yes. That's who we're gonna fucking call. Because after this game, that is his new name.
Oh, we gotta put our name in.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Zoo! Zoo! Zoo!
If someone asks if you're
all names are Zoo,
you say yes.
Yeah.
I'm a
ass.
I might have to watch that tonight.
It's a good movie.
It's so good.
I want to.
You know, Ming Chen
never gets old.
With them busting his balls on season 1, they took so much heat. But you have to realize, Ming's used to it. That's Ming's role.
That pretty much sums up this game. Ass.
Yeah. Well, is that okay? We're on the verdict.
Yeah. So Judge Drug.
So, out of a who you gonna call, I'm gonna give this a fucking no one.
Yeah.
Okay, it
I'm
came out in
going
1987.
to lay in the street and die out of this game.
So did the
Because, Jesus.
So did the
God
cartoon
damn it.
series this was based on, and that was awesome.
The cartoon series this was not entirely based on was great. This game sucks.
Okay. People talk about having their childhood raped by Transformers and all these reboots and their favorite TV shows getting remade. Oh, you raped my childhood. Well, you know what? This raped my childhood in 1987 when I was a child watching Ghostbusters and wanting to be Bill Murray. So, this game has spent 25 years raping my childhood. So I give it raping my childhood. Literally.
A raping out of childhood.
Bob's giving it a 3 just because it's really terrible. I mean, this game serves no point. I can't tell you why we played this. Because Halloween, that's why. But it really has no purpose at all.
You know what?
Begs the question: if this is a 3, what could possibly be worse?
E.T.
Well, we'll get there probably.
Yeah.
So yes, we're playing this for Halloween, and this game is quite terrifying. Terrifyingly awful.
You were expecting a good arcade game, but instead you got spooky skeleton.
I was a little disappointed.
Seriously?
I can see why this isn't on the salvage list.
AVGN did all the Ghostbuster games on the consoles. I think he would rate this at the bottom, even with the console games. And those things were pieces of shit.
I like the mid-2000s one. I recommend go out and play it. It's a good.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the NES.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the Master System.
Oh, they
I'm
were
talking
all
about
shit.
those games.
The classic Ghostbusters game.
They were all shit.
There was the one. What was it? The Genesis was supposed to be pretty good.
The Genesis one is serviceable. It's not the greatest game, but it's playable
But it's
and
decent.
quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to
It's a decent game.
if you want to go to Ghostbusters game, the one from the mid 2000s, written by Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd.
Ghostbusters the video game.
Yes.
On 360 PS3. And also Ghostbusters on the Genesis. Or is it Ghostbusters 2? I don't know. There's a Ghostbusters game on the Genesis that's pretty good.
I can't remember what it's
I
called.
don't fucking know.
But regardless,
I'm about 12 drinks in. I don't know who I am right now.
but again, this is, I guess, an overall. Oh, wait a minute. We got your mom yet.
Oh, yeah. Hey, give us your
Yeah, this is like
entire day.
probably one ectoplasmic jism in my face out of 10.
Ooh.
And
That's a lot.
I know how many ectoplasmic jisms in your face you prefer, and this is a low rating.
One's
for
enough.
You.
That's
One is you would rather like 12, and this is apparently a 1 out of like 12.
This is the first game I think we've actually played where we actually are saying stay away. And we're
This
not being
is the-
negative. We are literally saying we have suffered for you guys.
No, if your
so that
parents
you will
beat
not...
you, then you can go ahead and play this game.
We
but-
just talked about comic book men for an entire episode, basically.
And
this game is just not fucking
No.
fun.
it's
not fun.
Yeah, it isn't.
So with that, this is another episode of Quartermasters.
We've been children driving robots.
See you later, Dick.
and
Butt-
never
Dick Butt
play
Jokes.
this game.
I need more to drink.